Hello there, this is Jamie here. Welcome to another session of Tech Support Services. In this session, I'll be taking you through the process of creating eye-catching interactive apps using an amazing plugin called Verge3d. Verge3d is compatible with 3ds Max 2018 and above. It's also available for Blender and Maya. So without further ado, let's start by opening 3ds Max scene named carstart.max, followed by googling the name Verge3d and clicking on this link seen here. This is the website. As you scroll down, in this tab, we have the version of Verge3d for Blender. On this tab, we have the version of 3ds Max, and this tab for Maya. For the purpose of this exercise, we're going to use Verge3d for 3ds Max. To download it, simply click on this tab here. Also, there are numerous step-by-step tutorials here on how to use it. Once the software is downloaded, simply double-click and install it. Once installed, restart 3ds Max. Verge3d should appear on your toolbar as seen here. As mentioned earlier, Verge3d works best with 3ds Max 2018 or above. Currently, it's only compatible with 3ds Max physical materials and standard lighting. To start, open the material editor by clicking on this button here. To load up the physical material shader, simply click on this toggle and choose the shader from the material browser dialog. Next, let's choose a material preset by clicking here and choosing the red sports car paint from the list. To name the material slot, select the preset name, right-click and choose to copy the text, and paste it in the name field. By default, the material model is sometimes set to standard as opposed to advanced as it currently is. Always set it up to advanced in order to have access to the reflections group and other important functions. Copy the base color swatch and paste it onto the reflections, and make it slightly darker by clicking and holding its color swatch and changing its values here. Scroll down to check the remaining settings. Here, you have the description of each material loaded. In the perspective viewport, right-click here and choose the Edge Faces option. This option will let you see the selected objects in the viewport. Select the car body and assign this material to it. Next, select the glass area. It's currently grouped. Go to the Groups toolbar and choose to open the group. Pick the glass object. Select a new material slot and load a new physical material as previously done. Choose the glass solid geometry preset as opposed to the glass scene geometry. Glass scene geometry is mostly applied to glass surfaces such as window glass and tables. As previously done, copy the text and paste it onto the material slot name and assign it to the car glass. For the car highlights, let's copy the glass material by dragging it to the next slot and renaming it. Let's change the material mode to advanced. Because you want the headlights to be self-illuminated, let's increase the emission value to about 0.19. As you can see, the glass material is slightly brightened now. Assign it to the headlight object in the scene. Next, let's select the rim objects in the scene, followed by selecting a new material slot and loading a new physical material as previously done. In material preset, choose the gold material. Let's rename this material as chrome, change the space color swatch to dark grey, and change the material mode to advanced. The next material we're going to create is a plastic material. In the viewport, select this front part of the car and maximize the viewport. Select the car rims again and assign the chrome material to it. Select the front part of the car again. In the new material slot, load the physical material as previously done and choose a rubber material preset from the list. Copy and paste the preset name on the material slot. Because we want the plastic material to be really dark, let's click on this reflection color swatch and change it to a darker color to reduce the reflectivity. Double click on the material editor to maximize it. Next, decrease the roughness values until we see the sheen coming through the surface. Also, let's make the base color completely dark. Select the car fenders and assign the rubber material to it. Assign it to the tires as well. Next, click on the Customize toolbar and choose the Preferences option from the list. Under General tab, increase the scene undo levels to 500. This will allow you to undo up to 500 levels in case you make a mistake. Under Files tab, let's increase the backup intervals to 30 minutes. Depending on the file size, sometimes it's best to increase the auto backup interval times. If the max file takes too long to save, click OK to close the dialog. Next, let's create a camera by clicking on this command icon. Select the camera button, followed by clicking and dragging it in the top viewport. Right-click to exit creation. Right-click and choose the Move tool. Move and adjust the camera accordingly. Open the Modify panel and change it to a free camera. This will give you the flexibility to move the camera freely without a target constraint. zoom out the viewport and move the camera up to eye level or 1.64 meters. In the perspective viewport, change the view to the selected camera. Next, we're going to load an HDRI map to the environment map. Before we do so, click on the plus text and choose to configure viewports. Under the Display Performance tab, change the viewport background to 1500 pixels if it's not set to that size already. High values will be sharper, however, it may slow down your computer. Under the Background tab, change its current function to Use Environment Background and click to apply to Active View. Next, click on the rendering toolbar and choose the environment option from the list. Alternatively, simply press H on your keyboard, followed by clicking on the environment map toggle. In the material browser, click on the bitmap and choose this HDR image. Unlock this padlock and set its display scale colors to 10. This value worked okay for this exercise. However, feel free to enter different values if you wish. Next, drag and drop this toggle into an empty material slot and choose the instance method. To create lights, let's click on the Lights command button. Verge3d works mainly with standard lights such as Target Spot, Free Spot, Target Direct, Free Direct and Omni lights. For the purpose of this exercise, let's select the Omni light and create it in the scene. Move and adjust the light, followed by going into the Modify panel. To enable the shadows, simply check the shadows function here. Scroll down to see other Verge3d light parameters. Most of these parameters work well by default. When a scene is exported to Verge3d, the shadows may look darker than usual. To rectify this, simply increase the emission values of a specific material slightly as previously done. Because we want this scene to be interactive, we're going to create buttons to be later used to change the material of the car body. To create the first button, let's go to the Shapes command and choose the circle. In the front viewport, click and drag to create the circle. Go to the Modify panel. As mentioned earlier, most lights, materials and objects will come with these Verge3d parameters, as seen here. Increase its interpolation to make the circle smoother. Move and position the circle so it's in front of the camera. Expand the parameters and reduce its radius to make it smaller. Let's reposition it again. Next, open the material editor. Select the red car paint material and copy the text name, followed by pasting it in a circle object name field and the text subject in front of it. As mentioned earlier, it's crucial to name materials and objects accordingly to later pick them in Verge3d. Add the extrude modifier and increase the amount to 5mm. To copy it, while selected, hold down the Shift key and move the circle down. Add the name blue here, an object. Change this object color to blue by clicking here and changing its color. Change this circle color to red. Next, let's create a new material slot by dragging and dropping this red material. Add the name blue here and change its colors to blue. Assign this material to the blue circle object. Copy the last circle and name it yellow object. Change its color as previously done. Create a new yellow material using the same approach as before. Before exporting this scene to Verge3d, click on the Verge3d toolbar and choose the option to Sneak Peek. This is a quick preview of the final result. Next, go to the Verge3d toolbar and choose the option to Run App Manager. To create a new app, click on this icon here and name it accordingly. Accept the default settings. As you can see here, a new app was created. Every time an app is created, it goes into the specific folder as seen here. It's often under your local C drive, Users, Verge3d and Applications. Inside the Applications folder, you can see all the apps created. As you can see, a temporary GLTF file and 3ds Max file was automatically created under the name of the app. They need to be overridden with our own 3ds Max file and GLTF file. To create puzzles coding for this new app, we need to click on this button here. Before we start creating puzzle codes, we need to first export the current 3ds Max scene as a GLTF file format. Back in 3ds Max, go to the Verge3d toolbar and choose to export to GLTF. In Export dialog, make sure to override the placeholder file automatically created under the name Car Jamie app. Back in the App Manager, click on the Puzzles button to load up the recently exported file. This Puzzles page is unique and truly groundbreaking, as users don't need any experience in coding to create amazing interactive and immersive applications. The Puzzles list is broken down into events, selectors, objects, materials, animations, cameras, scenes, time, HTML, AR, VR, sound, video, physics, post-processing to art, bloom and other effects. We also have logic, loops and all these other features listed here. Let's start by clicking on this Events Puzzles. Double click on this event here to select it. This event is to, when clicked, to do something. For the purpose of this exercise, we want when clicked to go to the Selectors Puzzles. Under Selectors, we have a number of functions. Let's double click on Select an Object function, drag and fit it to When Clicked Puzzle. Click on None to pick the object from the Max scene. Pick the brushed metal red object from the list. This is why it's utterly important to name objects and materials accordingly in your 3ds Max scene. So when clicked on brushed metal red object, we want to do something. Click on Materials Puzzles and choose to assign Materials Puzzle. As you can see, there are also other puzzles to replace texture, set color and much more. For the purpose of this exercise, we're choosing the Assign Material puzzle. Let's drag and fit it here to connect with this puzzle. In Assign Material, let's choose another selector puzzle. Under Select a Material, choose this puzzle. Drag and fit it to assign the material puzzle. Click and choose a red sports car paint from the list. Again, this is why it's utterly important to name objects and materials accordingly in your 3ds Max scene. In this section to Objects, we're going to find the right puzzle to fit it into it. Click the Selectors puzzle. Under the Select an Object, choose its puzzle and fit it to the Objects puzzle. If this puzzle wasn't correct, you wouldn't fit and click. Sometimes you need to go through the list of puzzles to see what fits. Click on this puzzle and choose the car body object from the list. In summary, when you click on this brushed metal red object, the assigned material to red sports car paint links the object car body. These functionalities will apply to the red button. Next, we're going to duplicate these puzzles and apply them to the blue and yellow buttons. To duplicate the entire set of puzzles, simply right-click on the back side of the set and choose to duplicate. The entire set of puzzles are now duplicated. Next, we're simply going to replace the name of objects and materials accordingly. In here, let's change this brushed metal red object to the brushed metal blue object seen here. So when clicked on this brushed metal blue object, we assign this blue sports car paint material here to the same car body object. Let's save the coding created so far by clicking on this Save button. Once saved, the button will turn grey. Let's duplicate the last set of puzzles again and repeat the same for this yellow button here. Let's save the changes again and click the play button. Now we can click these buttons to see how the coding is working. We can also navigate around the scene. As mentioned earlier, we can use the same approach for textures, lighting, animation, e-commerce and much more without having to be a programmer. These apps can go on a website or send as links to clients. Please contact me for more information about this app. This concludes our tutorial. I really hope you found this tutorial useful. Like and share it. And I hope to see you on my next one.